Hello again, friends, and you are my friends, and welcome back to your Matchday Ticket, the pre-game show live with me, your host, Martin, and of course, Toby. Welcome in. I'm glad you could all join us. I've got two guests with me this afternoon for the FA Cup game against Portsmouth. Hang on, I've got something just digging into me back here. Just a second. Oh, wait. You better take that off me. It's the salt. Welcome in. So, we have got Portsmouth in the FA Cup. Obviously, a cup that we've won many years ago. We won't say how many. I'm sure the Norwich fans would like to remind us. But it should mean something to us. It certainly means something to me as a Town fan. I can already see you've got messages flying into the chat. We love it. Welcome to the Talking Town Bar. I won't abbreviate it. Matthew would tell me off. But get your messages in. And of course, on the post-game show, if you want to come on the show, you're more than welcome to. Just ask for the link. But for now, let me first welcome a man that has organised FA Cup draws in the past. He is, of course, our media mogul, Mr. Matthew Phillips. Matthew, welcome in.
Hiya, you're right.
Tell me more about this little nugget of information.
Yeah, you couldn't believe this, could you? When I
couldn't, no.
Yeah, that used to be one of my jobs at Wembley, was to organise the FA Cup draw. So it started with probably, 2008, when it was on ITV, and then it flipped to BBC. Yeah, it was great. So it was an excuse to get some Ipswich legends in. So I got Beattie in, Kevin Beattie coming in 2008. That was 30 years of, the Arsenal win.
Yep.
And then I got Ray Crawford in. I think it was like 50 years of when he was at Colchester and they beat Leeds. So I got Ray in, lovely fella. And Walkie, just because I wanted Johnny Walk to come and do the draw. And he did it with Cyril Regis, and we had a kind of Ipswich West Brom FA Cup semi-final throwback thing. So,
nice.
Yeah. It was always a bit stressful because you'd be worried that, when they're pouring the balls in, or there'd be a ball missing, or one would fall off. It was all a bit of a stress, but yeah, it was
or Rod Stewart.
I love that.
I think that was brilliant. Yeah. Puts my improv skills to shame. So, you're a connected man, which is why part of the reason why we love you. I can see Daniel has reignited the Matt. Definitely, it wasn't a penalty.
Don't get me started on this. Don't get me. I'm on the verge of divorce here if I watch that clip anymore.
We aren't married, are we?
Huh?
We aren't married, are we?
I've watched it back about 100 times in my lounge.
Well, don't worry, because before we get into today's show, of course, we are joined by the artiste who has the bullshit bell that he kindly brought to the show. He better have it this time, otherwise there's going to be issues. It is our comedy king, Mr. Robbie D.
Good afternoon.
Rob, good afternoon, sir. How are you?
I just lost an earphone here. There you go.
Show us the bell, Rob. Oh, hang on. That's not...
I'm waiting. The bell is away in the locker until we see what's going on. I could have brought it for any penalty talk, but let's try and focus on today's penalties rather than previous.
Hang on, I'm getting some jip from the regulars in the bar here. Apparently, I look like Johnny Douglas in that shirt. So hang on, 2 seconds. Let me just put it up a little bit. All right, there you go.
Fair, I think you'd match Johnny Douglas's midfield movement without too much trouble, mate.
That's a shocking comment. That is an absolute terrible comment. I'll wave my blue badge at you. Facebook user. Anyone know why Dobra's not made the squad today? Well, it's a good question. Let's jump into...
Lambert doesn't like him.
I like him. Anyway, into today's team. Cornell, Donatian, NC Allen McGuinness, Ken Lott, McGavin, Hughes, Nolan, Bennett, Hawkins and Sears. Okay, let's start with the obvious there because somebody's brought it up first and foremost. Why isn't Armando Dobra in this 18-man squad?
Mystery. Absolute mystery. You thought he might have got the nod ahead of Judge, maybe. Weird. I don't know why. He can't go on loan anywhere now, can he? That's not on the table anymore.
No.
He can only be injured.
Mine, I want to know, who's this keeper Cornell we've got on the bench? Because we've got one of the team.
Look at this. Look, when you've got one of your own contributors sort of putting the knife in, I ain't got a spare space for another one.
It's only that bad. You'd rather have no goalkeeper and, his hologram on the bench.
I'd rather have 4 David Cornells. No, I'm looking forward to seeing David Cornell in goal. He's a player that we've seen, obviously, in cup action, Rob. But every time I've seen him, he's looked calm, he's looked comfortable with the ball, he's looked assured.
I think he's been under. I thought against Bristol Rovers, I think he played, and was that Holy? I can't remember. That's so long ago. Anyway, when he's played in the cup, he's looked solid. I thought, but he made some good saves.
EFL trophy, I think, Rob.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry, he played against Fulham, didn't he? Made a couple of good saves there, but I mean, he's yet to prove himself to me because he hasn't had the chance to do so. I would say that Holy's still the number one for me, but he's got a great chance. This is what 9 changes is about, to give people a chance to cement their place, isn't it? And that's a great opportunity for him, because you would say that Holy's, obviously I know he's been in team of the week and stuff in recent weeks, but I think his position is still relatively vulnerable. So
he's probably man of the match, wasn't he, against last week?
Yeah, probably so. But I think over the season, I think he's probably. I think he's done all right, but I mean, I expected him to do all right. He hasn't made any absolute clangers, not that have led to goals. I mean, he was involved in maybe one at Doncaster, but I think it was already 3-1 by then. So yeah, I think, to be honest, he's not done too bad, Holy. I mean, by the same extent, never really am that convinced by going back to him. So it's, obviously I was never convinced by Norris last season either, and he managed to get ahead of Holy. So I think Holy's position is still vulnerable, if I'm honest. A couple of good performances from Cornell, and he's probably got it to lose again.
Okay, on to today's captain. Toto Nsiala is today's captain for FA Cup first round action. He plays alongside McGuinness, obviously, on midweek show where it got absolutely wild. I did float the idea that Toto and McGuinness should play together to keep that combination going, to build a partnership. He's obviously captain as well. Are you happy with that, Matt?
My silence says it all. All I'm going to say is that McGuinness, the poor lad, he looked like top dog with Wolfenden, and then like a dog's dinner with Toto, didn't he? That's the effect. I just don't get it. I just don't get the Toto thing. He's given away 3 pens. I'm still blaming him for the pen in the week. He's given away 3 pens in 3 games, and now he's captain. I don't get it.
Yeah, I have to agree. If I'm honest, I would have rather seen McGuinness have it than Nsiala. But overall, I probably would have given it to Nolan in that team, because I think he's sort of the one that's going to run the game more. I think you can't
run a bath.
Well, neither can Nsiala, mate. As Matt rightly pointed out, he's given 3 penalties away in 3 games. Yeah. Does it not just prove the point that we don't have another captain at the club?
Yeah,
It cements it. There is no other captain.
No.
Everyone else there is a weak captain, I think. Everyone.
Can we just get this right?
You could say in another world, you could say Norwood's that kind of leader, but you can't make him captain after recent things, can you? So I don't think it's another.
Maybe Hughes has had the armband before, I think.
Maybe Hughes, Hughes or Nolan then. But I mean,
give it Mark.
The reality of it is that the biggest leader on the pitch, I think, is probably McGuinness.
Possibly.
The teenage loanee from Arsenal.
Loanee.
But let's be fair, it wasn't Nsiala that gave the penalty away, it was McGuinness. It was his hand. So, I mean, just want to have that clarification correct.
It always helps when your teammate volleys that at you from 50 centimetres away, doesn't it? If Nsiala hit a shot like that at the other end, he'd be
oh
well.
My God, we're back here again. I'm going nuts. Miles Kenlock starts. I'd have made Miles Kenlock captain. Portsmouth have kept an unchanged side from a league game. So, this makes it really exciting for me because I want to see Brett McGavin in action against League One opposition.
Standard, yeah.
Can he step in? Can he step up to the plate? The table is ready almost because we need that midfielder who can tackle, who can do the dirty stuff. Rob's called for it many, many times on away games on this show. He wants that nitty-gritty player. Are you looking forward to seeing Brett McGavin, guys, against League One players?
To be honest, I just go on, you first, Matt.
I was going to say, he's one of these players. Everyone goes, I want to see McGavin. I want to see what he can bring to the table. I actually don't think too many fans know what he can actually bring to the table because, he had that one half against Fleetwood, I think it was, wasn't it, last season? He's had cameos here and there. I still don't really know what he brings or whether he's going to be tough enough or is he going to put the tackle in or is his range of passing going to be decent? Is he going to get things moving like Dizelle would? We don't know the answer. Hence, it's a good reason for him to be starting today, of course.
What we need is that Downs player, aren't we? Let's be honest. I don't know how long Downs is out for, but he's not here today. He's probably not going to be here for a week or 2 minimum. So, obviously, Dizelle now injured. Fortunately, Nolan's back. Downs is not there. Already we're injuries starting to catch up even more with us. Scouse obviously completely forgotten about Scouse, which in some ways is probably a good thing. But I mean, he's not even on the bench. This is the game where he would have been 100% starting if he wasn't in the team. He'd have been probably captain.
Yeah.
So there's another one. Well, he's out as far as we know till the new year.
Exactly. So there is definitely a gap for McGavin. As Martin said, the sort of table's set because Dazelle is now out for a little while. Downs is still out. Scouse is still out. So that midfield three actually is possible. They could probably start the next game. Perhaps we put Bishop in. But,
I feel but
McGavin wouldn't play in Bishop's position. That CDM role is not where Bishop's going to play. So you'd say that McGavin is competing really only with Hughes.
Yeah, he is, and I think today could be a good show for him if he can step himself up. Obviously, I feel a bit sorry for him because he's a young player that came in out of the blue against League Six, top six opposition last year in Fleetwood, and then hasn't been really seen again since. And there's been times where you could have seen him but didn't. Pre-season, he looked fairly neat. I agree with the Facebook user here.
He played in his first game, didn't he, Martin? Actually, he did half a half, didn't he?
He did. Neat, tidy sort of player. That, look, as Rob said, with Andre being out, with Flynn being injured, the table is set. It's there to go. Get some comments from the bar. We've got Hawks with a Hawkins hat trick, and he hopes my £20 is ready for the end of the season.
Jordan is loving Hawkins.
Rob, you're not really a Twitter user, so I'll ask you the question. Ollie Hawkins to score 9 or more goals. Would you take the over or the under on that bet?
In the season, all competitions?
No, just league.
Under.
Thank you very much. Next question. Cruncher. Brett is a class act. See him last season in the EFL Trophy and looked a class above. Graham,
he's going to need to be today because he's the linchpin.
Yeah, it's different. That's a different level, though, isn't it? It's a different level to the first game of Portsmouth.
Yeah, I've got 2 questions here, both kind of the same. So I'm going to mention both and ask what you think. Graham Tate, I hope Ipswich show interest in the FA Cup this season. Fed up with them just throwing the towel. And then Adam Flatt says, FA Cup is pointless this season. Discuss. Do you want a cup run, or would you just like 90 minutes of football and then we'll say goodbye to the trophy?
Well, I think a cup run is good. I think it's Lambert doesn't like playing lots of games, does he? He seems to have forgotten. We've said this on the Sunday show. He seems to have forgotten that the point of Ipswich Town Football Club is to play football matches, right? So I think if you're playing games regularly, and which we're going to be, aren't we? Tuesday, Saturdays, whatever. That only builds momentum. His worry, of course, is people are going to get injured. That's the worry for Lambert. But you're easily going to get, as we found out, you're just about as likely to get injured in training at Ipswich Town as you are in a match. So it makes no difference to me. So I think a cup run would be good for the supporters, give people something else to think about. I do wish we were playing a little non-league team or something, you know.
At the end of the day, I mean, I presume Portsmouth can also get injuries in this game. I presume that's possible, and they've just played their full-strength team.
Yeah, exactly.
That's intent.
yeah.
I think Kenny might be worried. He might be handed his jacket soon. So
where's that?
They're under pressure. I think he's under probably more pressure than Lambert, I think, to be honest.
Flipping it. Press that bell, son.
The bell is locked away, mostly because I've forgotten to bring it to the desk where I am. But yeah, I'll get it at half time because I'm sure we'll need it by then.
Oh, you certainly will. I'm in 2 minds. Normally, I'm of the opinion of, do you know what? We're not going to win the FA Cup, so
thanks for that.
Let's just knock ourselves out, to be honest, and take the extra week's rest it's going to give you. Then I'm in the opinion of actually we've done that for the last, 10, 15 years, and we're in League One now. So how many times are we going to, as fans, we're going to say, look, let's focus on the league to only either finish 15th or 11th in 2 different divisions. Yeah. So just win, basically.
To be quite honest, what I want to see from us in the FA Cup is get through the early rounds, get to play someone like Spurs or something like that, Everton, I don't know. No. Obviously, we can't go, which is a shame. But then go out in a good way, in a way that makes us look good. Go out 3-1 away at Everton or something in the 3rd, 4th round, rather than 2-0 at home to Portsmouth or insert club here in the 1st round or the 2nd round. You know, when we're in the Championship, we're getting knocked out by like Preston in League One and Lincoln and all this. We're just terrible. Yeah. Just have some pride in the approach and try and at least make it to. So we might lose to someone who's better than us rather than worse.
Yeah, I don't mind the team selection as much. I think there's a few players in there that have got a point to prove. Bennett, Hawkins, Sears, that's a front 3 with points to prove. McGavin, as we've already mentioned, and the back 4, all of the back 4, if you ask me, should be competing with Portsmouth's League One players, so it's a chance for them to step up. But I think you're right, Rob. Go round 2, round 3, maybe round 4. But the further you do go, the more distraction it does become, because players do start to naturally think, oh, we've got an FA Cup quarter-final next week. Oh, we've got an FA Cup semi in a week.
It's momentum, isn't it? It's momentum. We're out of the Carabao Cup. We'll be out of the EFL Trophy as soon as we have half a chance to do so. So, Just stay in one.
Which one would you choose? The EFL Trophy, the Papa John's, or would you choose the FA Cup?
Only one of them's got any value, surely.
Yeah, Papa John's.
Norwich have won the Carabao Cup in its own light, whatever the name it was, so that completely devalues it straight away. The EFL Trophy, I don't even know, it changes name every round.
The L'Oreal.
The FA Cup's the only one with any value, isn't it? The FA Cup was called the FA Cup when we won it. 40 years later, 42 years later, it's still called the FA Cup, not the Worthington Cup, not the Carabao Cup, not the Yorkie Cup or the Galaxy Caramel Cup, whatever stupid name they come up with it. The Double-Decker Cup, I don't know. I mean, they could pay me to come up with a name if they like. Yeah.
That's unbelievable. Worthington Cup. Next, we're saying the Milk Trophy. Obviously, looking at that front three of Bennett, Hawkins, and Sears, who needs the better game more? Bennett, Hawkins, or Sears? I'll let Matt go first, and then we'll come to you second, Rob.
Quite difficult, really. I think they all do. I mean, probably, maybe Bennett's does, actually, because we've only seen it in these sort of, we said on Tuesday night, didn't we? These ridiculous cameos where Lambert gives him 3 minutes here, 5 minutes there, 4-1 down, give yourself 5 minutes. So it'd be good to see him get 90 minutes and put in a good performance, because that then breeds confidence for the fan base that we do have other options in the league campaign. But I think Sears equally has to show that he can do something, and Hawkins would probably want to score a goal against his former club and prove a point. And he probably does need to start scoring, as you keep saying, Martin. You like strikers to score goals, and we're still having this. I mean, I would say he's going to score under 9 goals this season. Sorry, Jordan. He just doesn't look like a goal scorer. So again, it's a chance to be in the shop window, show what he can do.
Rob, how about you?
I'm going to say Sears, because I think the ironic thing is that if Bennett has a good game, he's got a good chance of keeping. Even if Bennett has a decent game, not even good game, he's got a fair chance of keeping his place. Whereas Sears is up against Guion Edwards, which means he's probably out of the team unless he does extremely well, because Guion Edwards really has played his best football on the left, and that's where Sears is. So I think Bennett's only has to have an average game to probably get into the team, whereas Sears has got to have a good enough game to keep himself ahead of Edwards. So I think.
Are we presuming Bennett's is on the right today?
I'm presuming Bennett's is on the right, Sears left, because that's where Sears has played predominantly.
I think there's a bit player, really.
There's a bit of sort of everyone considers Bennett as that bit of magic. Do you remember when Dean Bowditch was just come on the scene? Everyone was like, this young guy off the bench. Doesn't matter what he's done. He comes on and does nothing. Next game, he's still really high profile. Everyone still wants him on. At the moment, there's that thing about Bennett, is that we don't really know what he can do. Until he does it, there will still be that. And I think if he doesn't perform today, he's probably still got that, he can come off the last 20 minutes and change the game effect. Yeah. Whereas we know about Sears.
He's got a bit of an enigma factor as well. He's come from Borussia Mönchengladbach.
Exactly.
He's not a team we've had much connection with before, is it? So he's got that as well. Yeah.
Jacob Farrow believes Bennett's won the score sheet first. That's heard it here first. Rabbit Man, afternoon, guys. Is the game on the iPlayer? Yes, it is. Adam Flat, 17,000 for winning today. Doesn't even cover Lambert's fines.
Lamberts. I don't know if that's a typo, but that's a great typo.
I'm knowing Adam.
That's the most appropriate typo of the whole season.
Yeah, Adam hopefully was joining us on the full-time show. He was going to do it midweek, but then he decided to go for a romantic meal instead. So, I mean, I don't know where you stand on that, Rob. Romantic meal over the football over romantic meals. Where are you currently on that?
At what point in the evening did he decide that? Did he decide that during the game, or? I mean, I'm all for romantic meals, but I'm not going to go out at 9:30 at night. I mean, you're only going to end up with an Indian, isn't it? Maybe a kebab.
Yes.
You've got to finish. You've got to be out by 10.
The reason I ask Rob is because for many years when he was a single man and I was married, he'd be, you live with her. You haven't got to spend time with her. So I'd often be dragged around the bars, and I would be dragged.
And Martin never needed much convincing.
Never. I didn't. Still think Sis will score goals if played in a 2 next to a target man. And Nick Muller, is it on red button? Yes, it is. So Norwood on the bench.
That was a surprise.
Yeah, a little bit. Jackson and Norwood on the bench.
I think our bench is stronger than the first team, isn't
it? Yeah.
Well, by the way, I see who's that keeper Holy we got. I thought it was Cornell was on the bench, wasn't it? Subtle changes. You got onto your PowerPoint?
Yes, mate, yes. Microsoft Office 365. Do you want to see Hawk? No, you don't want to see Hawkins. Norwood or Jackson today, or do you rather they just sat on the bench and watched?
I mean, look, Jackson's further down the line, isn't he, in terms of having a bit of a run out. He had that time against Blackpool, didn't he? Then he had the little break for COVID, and then we saw him at Sunderland. I'd like to see Jackson get some more time because he was isolated at Sunderland, wasn't he? Didn't have any chances particularly. The best chances obviously was Lancaster's goal and then when Jack missed in the second half. But yeah, I'd like to see Jackson get started because no one's again building himself back to fitness as he was during pre-season, wasn't he?
Louis Sharp is stirring the conspiracy theories because he says there's no one on earth nor would done his hamstring is back this early. It is a surprise.
It did cross my mind that it is a surprise. I would love to see Norwood get in because, to be honest, I think he needs to get his head down and start proving that one, he wants to play for the club, he's focused on playing for the club, and he sees himself having his future here. I personally would also like to see them both come on. If we're 1-0 down and it gets 60, 70 minutes, change the formation, put them both up there. Go for it. You've got no game until, I don't even know. You've got no game immediately after this. So
you got Crawley midweek.
So you've got no game.
I think that would probably give them a token 3 minutes at the end. Just to.
Before we go into the bold predictions part of the show, very quickly, we have got Curtis Yates at Curtis Yates on Twitter, or he will put a message on the Facebook page so you can contact him. He is doing a raffle. Win 4 prints worth £40 for £3. You can have as many entries as you want, but as soon as we hit 25, that's it. So basically, it's a raffle. You choose how many spaces you want at £3 an entry, and you could win £40 worth of prints. He's a really good artist, so I would strongly suggest doing it.
There it is.
Yes, just behind Matthew's left shoulder there. So get involved with that. Curtis, drop a comment in the section so the guys can contact you. Right, 5 minutes to kick off. Bold predictions. What are we going for today, Matt?
I think we're going to lose. Sorry, everybody. Look, you saw the midweek show. I'll call it as it is. I think we'll probably get beaten. 2-1. I think Portsmouth would probably be a little bit too strong for us with that first team. Yeah, and Toto in our defence. I have no faith in Toto whatsoever.
Leave the boy alone.
I think Neil called it the other night, didn't he? I hate it when Neil calls it right. It's really annoying. It's a pet hate. He's been doing it for 20 years. It's really starting to get me now. No, but I mean, he called it the other night. I mean, he was saying that NCR wouldn't be near his team, his captain, none of that. I mean, I don't want to sort of hate on a player. I don't really, not sort of one to boo or anything like that. But you just see there's going to be some, even at the start of the season, Martin, didn't we say there was a mistake in every game? And it tends to be a fatal one. He got away with it for a little while, didn't he? Because no one was putting any pressure on us. As soon as we've got players in and around them, turning them, trying to win penalties off us, penalties galore, isn't it?
It is.
I fear a calamity. I think it might actually be quite a tight game because I think to be honest, we're not going to try and dominate. I think we're probably going to try and sit and soak up the pressure because obviously, as Matt said, they've got their first team. I think Portsmouth's first team probably is better than our first team, if I'm honest. So our second team, I'd imagine, is going to struggle. I just think it could be a tight game and it might be decided by a penalty, by a mistake. And I think we all know who's capable of making that mistake.
He's going for 4 in a row.
I don't know if it'll be a penalty. Don't hold me to that, but I think it might be decided by a mistake. I'm going to go with that. And
Kurt's gone.
I think we're the only team that makes mistakes in Ipswich plays. The other team never make one. Sunderland did, and we let them off the hook.
Yeah.
To be fair, the first mistake in that sequence was from Mark McGuinness. So how long, let's be
Mark McGuinness is 19. He's played, 2 games, mate? You're more experienced centre-half than he is.
Louis Sharp, 3-0 Pompey. I'm not feeling this negativity. I'm going to say 3-1 Town with a convincing win, but leaves more questions than answers in regards to first team selection. Because if you win 3-1 and Bennett plays well, and McGavin plays well, and Hughes plays well, and
Ciala plays well.
Yeah, and Ciala plays well. Yeah, it leaves a lot of questions for...
I'm not wishing Toto to have a bad game. I was loving it when he was looking good, but you can't argue with the facts and the stats. It's 3 pens in a row.
Yeah, that's true.
And you have to remember, where he was playing last season at Bolton, he was not having a great time. They were having a terrible time. I mean, you could have even argued that perhaps if we had have brought Tommy Smith in when we didn't, not saying we should have done, but I think Tommy Smith might be ahead of him now if he'd been it. So
possibly.
I think Tommy Smith's a more reliable centre half. We brought Ciala back from Bolton, back from the abyss, really, and he's straight in the team.
I'd like to have seen the boy Baggett get a chance today. We saw he had that good performance in the EFL trophy, didn't he, against Gillingham? Why not just throw him in? 17, give him a go. So I'd say.
Adam Flat's looking for big performances from Donatien, Nolan, Hughes, and Sears.
Yeah,
He wants
Donatien,
he wants senior pros who need to show they can still contribute.
Yeah.
Facebook user is, I'm sorry, guy. I want Lambert gone. His Chibutate is up the wall. No Dobra and Judge.
Is Facebook user like that guy who used to score like a trialist? Remember? He used to score those goals in pre-season.
Yeah.
Facebook users are the people that haven't given us permission to use their name or picture. They need to click a link and just say accept. Some have, some haven't. It's fine. It's a personal preference. Adam Flat says 6-0 Town. Facebook user's cousin, Facebook user, hopefully end up in 4-4-2 with Jackson and Norwood up front. Come from behind, 2-1 win. Come on, you Blues. With Jackson and Norwood on the way back, there are some questions for Lambert to start to answer. But we'll see how we play in the first half. We'll see what happens, who does well. We'll be right back here at half-time and then again at full-time. Don't forget Curtis's raffle, a fantastic chance to win some prints. We'll see you all at half-time. With love, with care.
Enjoy it.
See you at full-time.
Ciao.